Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Adeline Castellino, Liba Miss Diva Universe 2020. And as a Smile Train Goodwill Ambassador, I welcome you all to this live. Smile Train is the world's largest cleft non-profit organization that is responsible for lighting up 1.5 million smiles around the world and 6 lakh smiles here in India in the past 2 decades. That too free of cost. And that's the wonderful thing about Smile Train. Smile Train has also changed so many lives around the world. And if there's one thing that I would want to ask you is remain in our session today to know more about Smile Train, because you can do make a difference in a child's life if you can share this and spread the word. Okay, so today we have with ourselves Dr. Krishna Murthy. He's from the Bhagwan Mahavir Jain Hospital in Bangalore. He's a senior Smile Train partner surgeon and has been in Smile Train India's advisory council. So it's a pleasure to have you, doctor, here.
So I'm a facial surgeon whose main area of interest is treating children who are born with this birth difference called cleft lip and palate. I have been working with Smile Train since the time they've started working in India. That's in 2001, and have been working for the last 20 years with this organization. So at our hospital, which is one of the 150 partner hospitals of Smile Train in this country, we treat comprehensively children who are born with this cleft lip or palate free of cost, and we have treated close to 10,000 children in our partnership, which is lasted for 15 years now at Bangalore.
Wow. That's amazing to know about your initiatives, doctor. And we have with us amazing blogger Tanya Mittal also. Tanya Mittal, would you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
I'm Tanya Mittal. I'm a fashion and lifestyle blogger and a digital marketer, and I'm a cleft beneficiary. And I had all my treatment done under the Smile Train organization.
That's amazing, Tanya, and I'm so happy. Actually, we have someone from the fashion field and the medicine field, which is both my favorites. I don't know whether you guys knew, but I always wanted to become a doctor when I was in college, but that didn't happen. But I'm so happy that I'm able to witness this in this way. And being a part of Smile Train for a year, what I've realized that there's lack of awareness, everywhere about cleft. So, doctor, can you enlighten us on why that's happening in India? Or why does that happen in India?
Yeah, right. So we have about 25 million children being born every year. And out of these 25 million children that are being born, about 35,000 of them, which is 1 in every 700 children that are born, they are having this birth difference. It could be a difference on the lip, what we call the cleft lip, or it could be inside the mouth, which we call cleft palate. And sometimes they might have both the cleft of the lip as well as the palate. The reason why this occurs is complex yet simple. Basically, it's some kind of genetic misinformation. We are all familiar with a lot of misinformation campaigns that happen all over the place. So similarly, the genes don't read the message properly, and then some events don't happen while the baby is being inside the mother's womb. So it's like I said, a birth difference, and mainly due to genetic reasons. Also, certain environmental factors affect that. Classic examples are if the mother's taking some medications for an illness. For example, mother's having what we call epilepsy or fits, and she's on medication for that. So these anti-seizure medications can induce a cleft. Or sometimes it is, in a number of instances in our country, it may be nutritional deficiencies. So the pregnant mother is not well nourished, particularly with micronutrients like vitamins. There's something called as folic acid, which is a very important ingredient, though required in very small quantities. And if a mother at the time of conception is not getting adequate amounts of these micronutrients, it could result in this kind of a defect.
That's a very new information for me, and I think that a lot of women in India they don't get the proper nutrition, and that could be one reason that this is happening. I know that Smile Train does comprehensive cleft care. And people don't know that it's more than the cleft surgery. There are many other aspects. So, doctor, would you like to take us through the Smile Train operations to say what else happens other than the cleft surgery?
Yeah, that's a very important question you asked me, Adeline. Our job as care providers for cleft starts even from the time a diagnosis is made. So when we say comprehensive, oftentimes today the mother goes in for what we call as an ultrasound scan. So these scans are done from time to time to make sure that the fetus is growing very well, has no problems, right?
Right.
And when they do this scan around the 17th or 18th week of pregnancy, which is around the fourth month of pregnancy, it may be detected, right? So when that happens, the ultrasonologist or the obstetrician will tell the parent that, look here, there is your child may be born with this different thing. And then oftentimes they are referred to us. So that's where we start working. We counsel the parents what to expect, tell them this is not the end of the world, that this is just a minor treatable condition where your child can and will grow normally, right? So, and then prepare them for the birth of the child. This doesn't happen all the time because the kind of health infrastructure we have in this country, many of them don't get this facility. But when it happens, we start off preparing the parents even before the child is born. But once the baby is born, one of the issues is feeding the child, particularly if there is a cleft of the palate. So that takes precedence over everything else, because providing adequate nutrition is so important. We must remember that once a baby is born, about 90% of our brain and hence our intellectual abilities, etc., are seeded in the first year of life. So if a child suffers from poor nutrition in that first year, the impact that it will have over the rest of the child's life is not measurable, it's immeasurable. So our first goal is to make sure that the child feeds well. So Smile Train's comprehensive program today encompasses all of these things. We have a nutritional program, where we concentrate on training, teaching the parents, and then supervising nutritional care. Yeah, and then also before we do the surgery, we have certain technological tools that we have in our hands. We have someone in the team known as the orthodontist, the one who puts braces and makes people like your teeth look much more beautiful than they already are. Yeah, but they also do complex work on children who have these deformities. So the orthodontist can align the jawbones and the nose to look much better than what it was at birth, to resemble the normal side before we do the surgery. So this is what is called as nasoalveolar molding. And this is something that we will start on a child even in the first week of life. So it's extremely important that people do understand that if a baby is born, don't wait for the baby to be ready for surgery. We can make the results appear much better by doing this process of nasoalveolar molding right in the first week of life. Once that's done, we do the surgeries. Generally, if a child has cleft of the lip and palate, they need 2 surgeries, one between 3 to 6 months for the cleft of the lip and another between 9 and 12 months for the cleft of the palate. And once these 2 primary surgeries are over, one of the important things that we keep a close eye on, our team keeps a close eye on, is the speech of the child, right? So when you have cleft of the palate, and if it is not repaired, or if something goes wrong while you repair it, it may not be possible for the child as she grows up to be fluently speaking like this. And you are someone who is in the profession of communicating, and you can tell how important speech is in today's life for everybody. Whether you are in school, whether you're in an office or wherever. So it's important that we monitor the speech, and we have another specialist in the team. Remember, we work with teams here to provide comprehensive care. No one person can do everything, and the speech and language pathologist, commonly known as the speech therapist, will start monitoring the child once in 6 months and closer if required, to find out whether the baby is developing skills of language first and then speech. And if there is an issue with the speech as the child grows up, she will intervene and do what we call a speech therapy. So that's another very, very important aspect. The goal is that by the time the child starts going to school, Tanya will bear out with me, that they should be able to speak normally, right? And then also as the child grows, once again the teeth might come in a crooked fashion. They may need to be straightened. There is a lack of a little bone in the gums, which needs to be filled up with a bone graft at around 9 years of age. And then finally, there may be other things. The upper jaw might not grow very well, so you may need to tackle that as well. So in other words, managing a child with a cleft of the lip and palate begins from the time the parents come to know that their child is going to be born with this, till he or she grows up. And our team, with a standardized protocol, holds hands as we go together in this journey from the time the baby is born till he or she grows up. And Smile Train around the world with its programs supports this comprehensive care, and it's not just a surgery where a hole is closed.
Absolutely, doctor, and I can just imagine what the child goes through when they go through this condition in the family, and they're very lucky to have Smile Train really take care of everything from the surgery to, because these are very important parts even for a child when they're growing up. I know, because I had a speech defect when I was younger and I was not able to speak for a very long time, and it really hampers your self-esteem and your ability to express yourself. So I think that's such a gift for every child who goes through this, and kind of giving them a new life and the same opportunity that other children get to be happy and healthy. So I'm really glad that Smile Train does this, and it's an honor to be associated with them. Coming to Tanya. Tanya, you were born with a cleft lip, and you are such an amazing blogger. I see your post all the time. I want to know that, for you've become such a confident and brilliant young lady. I want to know what role has Smile Train played in your life, and what would you tell other Smile Train children who want to get into fashion and blogging? Did you have to face any myth when you were growing up, and a different kind of reaction from people?
Yeah, absolutely. So as doctor told, Smile Train is doing such a great job for cleft children. So when I was younger, there is no such facilities like Smile Train and all. And I had my first surgery when I was 3 months old. And at that time, we didn't have knowledge about Smile Train and its practices. So all my childhood treatments weren't that great. But as soon as I became 18 years old, I got to know from my orthodontics about Smile Train organization, and after that only I took the treatment and the surgeries under them, and after that only I've been able to pursue my career as a fashion blogger. Before that, I have I wasn't confident enough to pursue blogging on myself, do personal styling and all that stuff. But only after the surgery, I was able to do it myself, because I have become confident enough to do it. And yes, there were a lot of myths. My parents weren't also educated enough about the treatment, how it will goes, and what precautions they should have to take. And I also faced difficulties while growing up. I have to visit doctors every now and then. I still having my orthodontics treatment, so it's not finished yet, but it's just that I'm happy with it now. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm confident enough, and all that can happen because of Smile Train and its treatment.
I'm definitely sure, and it's always a pleasure to watch you and your posts. You just spread positivity and confidence just the way you are. And there's one thing that I realized. So this February, during my pageant, I got the chance to go to the Delhi center of Smile Train.
Yeah.
And doctor, what I saw there was a lot of Smile Train beneficiaries, these children and their parents. They looked up to the Smile Train partner surgeons, as a guardian angel, as a role model. Have you experienced something like this? Do you have connections with families, and any experience that you would want to share with the audience, doctor?
Oh yes. It's something that because of the long nature of this treatment, these children become your family, because if they have issues, you tend to internalize this more than you would in a normal day-to-day practice, because if there is a problem, we take it as a failure on our part to have delivered that thing, and then close bonds do develop. I remember this kid was brought in many years ago. This was 2 months after birth, and he was just skin and bones. It was not that the mother didn't want to feed her or didn't have milk to feed him, but she didn't know how to feed the child. And over the period of the 6 to 8 weeks, he had just wasted away. And all we had to do was admit him, show the mother how to feed the child. Remember, this is what I said right in the beginning, that getting the mother to understand how to feed the baby is important. Why this happens? They can't do breastfeeding, particularly when they have cleft palate. That would be a natural process. You don't need to teach a newborn or his mother or her mother to do this. But when you can't do this natural process, it can lead to sometimes devastating consequences. So there was this child who all we had to do was admit him, show the mother how to feed milk, and then he grew up to be a chubby child in 4 months. These kind of things you never forget, because what you want to do is to make them have normal lives, not just treat that difference or defect, but make sure that as they grow up, they're confident that they live a kind of life everybody else is entitled to,
Right.
whatever might have been the circumstance of your birth. Yeah.
Tanya, coming to you, I want to know, what was your inspiration to get into vlogging and fashion, and how did you start from there? Do you want to give any tips to people who are watching you, especially the children from Smile Train, on how you've overcome this and you've had, built your confidence and gotten to this place that you are in now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like from the childhood, I was like always very passionate and fond of writing my thoughts down. And so I started doing it after my surgeries, I started doing it, but I never really put my pictures on it. And I just do fashion tips and all, but I only take pictures from Google. So what problem I faced, that I used to get a lot of copyright issues. Like you cannot post somebody else's pictures. So because of that issue, I stopped doing that for a while. But after the Smile Train operations and after all my facial surgeries, I thought, like, why not do it on myself? Like I should do personal styling as well. So I started posting my pictures on Instagram and my blog, and people used to appreciate it a lot, and they used to like my style tips, and that's how it kept on going, and I've never looked back ever since then.
That's it's amazing, Tanya.
Yeah, thank you.
Really amazing, yeah.
Really amazing. It's not an easy feat to achieve. And remember we had this ramp walk where we partnered when we were
absolutely.
I think that was the most amazing day of the year, of the whole pageant of the year, because there was so much of positivity in that room. Do you remember anything that you want to share? I know we've gone into a lockdown after that and COVID happened, but there's one memory that is that's so engraved in my mind. It would be that particular day.
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed a lot that day as well. And by coincidence, we both paired up together. And
exactly.
And after that, you become that Miss Universe. Like, I feel so honored and so pleasured. After that, I'll get so happy for you.
Actually, you, in fact, you'd given me inspiration the day I met you, because you've done so much and you're so young. I said, this is actually a point of inspiration for anybody to be confident in their own skin and lead their life in their own way. That's amazing, Tanya.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, I want to know, since we were talking about COVID and people are very apprehensive, a lot of cleft patients, apprehensive to come. So what kind of safety precautions is Smile Train taking in terms of cleft children and their families?
I mentioned to you that Smile Train came to India in 2000, and they were a game changer.
Right.
They changed the way children with cleft lip and palate, particularly those whose parents couldn't go and get them treated, in a private setup or even in a government hospital for that matter. They changed the whole game. They've always been one step ahead of the times. And when there was COVID and there was so much of negativity, we stopped operating because the governments, the local authorities had asked all of us to do things that are not essential. One of the reasons was that most of the beds were supposed to get filled with COVID patients. But we used that time, Smile Train used that time to develop guidelines to make sure that when we started reoperating, came back into function, that we took all the necessary measures in order to not to risk our babies, right? So today we are back in full action. In fact, I just came back from the OR after operating on an 8-month-old with a small little microformed lip. Yeah. So what we do is we first of all make sure the child is healthy when we fix up a date for surgery. Then we also do what is known as the RT-PCR test, the definitive test to find out. Sometimes what tends to happen is children, even if they have absolutely no symptoms, they may be positive for COVID. In the past 6 months, I've had several instances of that. So we need to make sure that the child is negative. We do this about 48 hours before the surgery. And then when we find that then she's negative, we then admit the child. Also, during the stay in the hospital, all precautions are taken, like using the sanitizers and social distancing, etc. Especially in the OR, we take very strong measures to make sure that transmissions don't occur. So we use what are known as respirators on our face and a face shield while we operate. We wear what are known as PPEs.
That must be very difficult.
Yeah, but we get used to it. When we first laid down these guidelines to our surgeons and we were doing webinars telling them what is going to be the protocol going forward, people were wondering whether we will ever be able to operate with all this stuff, appearing like astronauts. Yeah.
And for hours and hours.
Yeah, but it happened because you get used to it, right? And today we are able to comfortably, safely carry out procedures with all these measures in place. And once again, like I said, Smile Train has supported its partner hospital in making sure that there is no issues with resources, for testing and for also using all the additional gear that is required.
Okay, doctor. Do you have anything that you want to tell the audience that they should know about all Smile Train and the operations?
Yeah, just a couple of things. One is that this is a cleft of the lip and palate, unlike very other complex problems that your child could be born with, is a very, very simple 100, right? Your child can be normal after the treatment is done. And money is not a problem now because Smile Train will operate for you totally free of cost, comprehensive treatment around the country in about 100 plus hospitals. So it's a completely treatable condition, and it is not a financial burden. And therefore, if you know of somebody who is waiting to be treated, if you know of somebody who has not been treated, you can always approach our helpline. The number is 1-800-103-8301. I repeat that. We have a national toll-free helpline number for Smile Train, 1-800-103-8301. So you just have to make a phone call and everything else will be taken care of. That's a promise from Smile Train.
That's amazing. That's a wonderful promise. And thank you so much, doctor, for coming here and sharing so much information with us. And Tanya, for sharing your journey with Smile Train with us. It's amazing.
It's been a pleasure.
For everybody that's watching this, keep supporting Smile Train. Change lives of many children because they deserve it, because it's a treatable birth difference that can be taken and they can really have healthy and happy lives as children. So you can make that difference in their life. So share this word and donate this Giving Sunday, this season of giving, and change somebody's life. Also, don't forget to support their campaign hashtag 21 Smiles to 2021. You can upload a picture, a selfie of yourself with the hashtag 21 days to 2021 and spread the awareness of cleft with Smile Train and make a difference in all children around the world and especially in India. So we're changing the life of one smile at a time. Thank you guys for coming here and for everybody that tuned in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, Tanya. It was amazing.
Thank you.
An eye-opening session.
Same here too.
Thanks, Adeline. Thanks for being here. Thanks for working for these children.
Definitely, Doctor.
More
And in
strength,
fact,
more,
what you
more,
guys are
more
doing-
strength to you.
Because
more
whatever
strength.
you guys are doing, it's not even 1%, not even 1%, not even 0.1% of what you're doing for the children and how you're changing their lives. So it's in fact an
Not
honor
at
and
all.
privilege for me.
You have a multiplier effect. You know, you can reach millions. Don't
Yeah.
underestimate the strength of the message. It's so important.
It's an honor and privilege, and I'm sure that many more children will be treated, and it's going to be a huge family.
Hopefully, yeah.
I think Smile Train India is the biggest in the world. That's what I mean. The operations are biggest in
That's right.
in the world.
That's
That's
right,
such a proud thing. That Smile Train India is such a huge organization.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll
Thank you very much.
Thank you.